Let's begin. Welcome to this guided rain meditation for addressing anxiety and stress. I'm Dustin Guinee, and I will be your guide today. And RAIN stands for recognize, allow, investigate, and nurture. So we will be doing the traditional RAIN practice with a bit of a twist on the nurture part, inspired by Dr. Jed Brewer's Unwinding Anxiety. He actually uses a noting practice on the N part of RAIN. So we're going to do a noting and a nurture at the end of our RAIN practice. But I think you'll find that this practice it's really effective. It's not only finding greater peace and unwinding anxiety, but really kind of helping with reducing our cortisol, our stress hormone, increasing beneficial hormones like serotonin, which helps moderate sleep, increasing dopamine, which improves focus and memory. So there's a lot of health benefits with bringing awareness to our anxiety through a meditation practice, and especially RAIN practice. So, and just remember to, as we do this practice, if you ever feel uncomfortable or uneasy, you can always return to your breath as your foundation, as your guide. If the mind gets a little too chaotic, you can always come back to your breath to connect with the present moment. So let's get started with a few deep breaths. Deep breath in through the nose, filling up the diaphragm, and release. Releasing through the mouth. And inhale through the nose, filling up the belly, and release. Releasing through the mouth. And inhale through the nose, filling up the diaphragm, and release. So, first step of RAIN is to recognize, where we recognize what is coming up for us at the moment. It could be related to future thinking around anxiety, fear, uncertainty, stress. Could also be ruminating on past experiences that may be creating grief, guilt, shame. There may have been a triggering event, a stressful event recently that you haven't been able to shake off. Whatever that negative habit loop feeling that's coming to the surface, just allow that to be present. So recognizing where we're at and allowing that thought, that feeling to be present. And, as we allow this feeling, whether it's anxiety, fear, stress, as we allow it to be it's helpful to think of this emotion as not something negative that we need to push away, but rather an old friend that we allow into our house for a cup of tea. And the idea is our anxiety, our stress, our fear, these are all visitors that come to our temple to express their concerns. And rather than identifying with them or getting caught up in their narratives, we simply have tea with them, we sit down with them, and with compassion, like a friendly ear, we listen to their stories. Perhaps there's a lesson to learn through their stories. But we don't need to identify with the story. We don't need to live with the story. The story is not a part of us. It's simply a moment in time in our mind. So we allow whatever feeling is coming up for us. And then we investigate where that feeling or emotion is showing up in our body. But we don't need to psychoanalyze ourselves and understand the past of why we feel anxious or fearful. We don't need to go into the history. We really just want to connect with this present moment and with this feeling that we have and where it manifests in our bodies currently. And for stress or anxiety, you may feel maybe some tension in the head, maybe a headache, maybe a tightening in the chest, shortness of breath. Feel free to put a hand wherever you might feel that tension. If there's tension in the shoulders, feel free to put a hand on the shoulders and feel free to kind of rub the shoulders. Just kind of be there or wherever that feeling is arising. If you feel a tightening in the chest, you can bring a hand or two hands to your chest, to your heart area, and just connect with what that feeling is telling you. If that emotion, that fear, anxiety, worry, if it's showing up in a different part of the body, you can put a loving hand on your gut or wherever else it may be showing up. And we allow this feeling to be present. We investigate where it's showing up in the body. And we do this with non-judgmental awareness, with a childlike curiosity. We don't judge ourselves or judge others for why we're experiencing this negative feeling. We simply bring awareness. Which brings us to this breathing technique that Dr. Jed Brewer talks about in his book, Unwinding Anxiety. And it's similar to a mantra, similar to Om, but rather than doing Om, we do a kind of like we're curious. We're curious about our anxiety, our fear, we're just kind of inquisitive, saying, and it's a little silly, but it actually is a great way to kind of bring more innocent curiosity to some of these feelings that may feel heavy or dark at times. So you'll entertain me. Let's give this a try. So we breathe in and we say, and breathe in. And breathe in. Just bringing some curiosity to our suffering, wherever that suffering shows up for us. And which leads us to the N in rain, which is commonly known as the nurture phase, but also inspired by Dr. Judd. He talks about noting, and we simply note what has come up for us in our practice. So we don't need to identify it. We don't have to identify with it. We simply note what has come up for us. Noting, oh, there's my anxiety again. There's my fear again. There's my, you fill in the blank. Simply start to note what has come up for us. And then we move into nurture. We've noted what's come up for us. We've recognized, allowed, and investigated what has come up. And now we nurture with self-compassion, with that curiosity, the And if you feel any aversion to the idea of nurturing yourself, do another why do I feel aversion to nurture myself? We're often our worst critics. And this is not about critiquing ourselves. This is just about nurturing our wounds, healing ourselves to become more whole, to become more rooted in this present moment. That is the work of meditation, of rain, is we're becoming more rooted in this present moment. Not worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. Simply being fully present in this moment. Nurturing ourselves with compassion, empathy. And as we extend and expand that love for ourselves, that love starts to radiate to others in our circle of influence. And we can begin to show compassion and empathy for even those that may have triggered us or created some suffering in our lives. Can we learn from those teachers and find compassion and growth and healing for those people and through those experiences. This is the work. Connected to the breath, connected to the present moment, connected to the I behind the I, the self beyond the self. Connected to the universe, the most great spirit, whatever label you want to call it. We're connecting to a wider awareness and consciousness beyond our own narrow view. And in that space, we truly are all connected. We are all part of this human experience, and we're all going through different levels of suffering. And so we can show each other compassion as we walk this path of what it is to be a human being, not a human doing. We're always doing, and we just be a human being. So with that, I'd like to share with you a poem that I've written. The poem is entitled, Having Tea with My Anxiety. Developing in a developed society. First world problems and anxiety. They say I need more. Do I have enough? Filling up the space of silence with more stuff. Can't hear myself think. And when I do, the voice has me chasing false realities within a false choice. Chasing my tail, the monkey mind has me climbing the ladder to add a $sign. Add another layer to the narrative. It overcomplicates my imperative. For life, liberty in the pursuit of happiness. But I'm suffering from self-inflicted nastiness. My greatest barrier to being free is me, or the thoughts I identify as me. Like unwanted guests, I've barred their entrance, but now I invite them in for tea. Having tea with my anxiety and all of his friends, listen to their stories, nurture and transcend. Let them be heard and speak their mind. All they really want is my attention and time. And when I acknowledge their presence and tell them it will be all right, they lift the veil from my lamp and return into the light. Return unto the source from where all truth resides. Absolve into the sea of love. Embrace the deep inside. Unconditional ocean, Mother holds us all, like children in her womb, till rebirth is our call. I no longer have to be the example of piety. I can love my faults, fears, and anxiety. When they come to visit, I can listen to their voice, but know beyond their ignorance, there is a better choice. And I can make that choice in every breath, to be at peace beneath the tides until there's nothing left. Nothing left but silence. in the space of infinite possibilities. What will you do with your infinite possibilities? What will you do when you realize you are infinite? The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Hey there, friend. If you enjoyed that session and would like to join me in real time, then go to openmindsopenhearts.org and sign up for my free classes the first and third Wednesday of each month at 5 p.m. Pacific time. I'd love to meet you in person via Zoom online for these sessions. Also, on my website, you can find past guided meditations. You can find my training sessions where I go deeper into the science and mindfulness practices around this content. You'll find my poetry for meditation, original music, and a variety of other resources to guide you on your meditation and mindfulness practice. So go to openmindsopenhearts.org, sign up, and I hope to see you at the next session.